Good evening, everyone. This is the Prime Time News. So, what do we have today? Oh my! What an explosion of generative AI! It really took us by storm. So, with so many tools ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity oh boy, I am definitely perplexed. Well, with so many tools. So, what do we do with them? And what is in store for us? How is this generative AI impacting our lives? And I really wonder how is it going to affect me as an educator in the chemical engineering? Or rather, I think in any engineering field, how is it going to help us? Or is it really helpful? I don't know. Let's try and discover. One thing that comes to my mind is definitely technical writing. It is quite a tedious task to first conduct the experiments and thereafter an equal, if not significant amount of time is also needed to craft the report from scratch, consolidating the information from the experiments, understanding what the data means, arriving at a conclusion, making recommendations, and not forgetting all the formatting and all the figures and diagrams. Well, it seems like generative AI does provide the promise of making more of having a more efficient way of dealing with mundane tasks. I wonder, will it play an instrumental role in technical writing in the future? What impact will it have on technical writing? Well, let's give it a try. How about let's use some actual data and see what ChatGPT can do. Can it truly produce a technical report that's reliable and valid? Well, let's try. Well, it's time to evaluate. Let's see what ChatGPT can do. And over here, the introduction seems right. The information about the excipients that's used is valid and also according to my requirement to use the US pharmacopoeia. And similarly, the information for background is also correct based on my understanding of the function of each excipient. So it has provide correct information. And I think one of the purpose of the study is to study the suitability of the excipients used for making these tablets. And so it mentions here that attributes such as mass uniformity, hardness, and friability will be evaluated in this technical report. So let's see in the later parts of the report that's generated by ChatGPT. Does it include and whether is it truly according to the US pharmacopoeia? Well, we've come to the heart of the technical report, the results and calculations, discussion and conclusion. In this case, yep, variability is correct and it's according to the US pharmacopoeia criteria. Well, hardness evaluation. This seems a bit dubious. It says to be calculated for comparison with USP requirements. What are they? It's not specified here. And to my knowledge, there is no specific USB requirement that is applicable to all types of tablets, unlike friability. And don't forget, there's a mass uniformity that was mentioned earlier that's necessary for the evaluation, but it is omitted here. So clearly, the report generated by ChatGPT is not comprehensive, there are gaps, and so the discussion made over here seems to be unreliable because It is based on information that is lacking. Well, ChatGPT is not that perfect after all. So it's like a disclaimer before you use this particular tool. You still need to check the validity of the information. Furthermore, as I was using the ChatGPT tool, it got me thinking, well, how about the ability to analyze? How about the critical thinking and sense making aspect of what's going on in our minds, the process of writing the technical report? Um, would it be lost? Can it still retain? Well, these are really important aspects of learning. But, well, how about the benefits of Gen AI? Is there really no merits to it? Hmm. I think about a parallel comparison I can make with chemical plant design. In the past, calculations were done manually, while students subsequently progressed to use Microsoft Excel to do design calculations, eventually progressing to process simulation tools. But can they immediately jump to a higher level of learning? Like, for example, using the simulation tool without having a proper understanding of how calculations are to be done? A wise colleague once told me in school, Mrs. Chu said that the focus is to study, to learn, whereas at the workplace, it's about efficiency. So, Gen AI is not all bad, but the key is AI literacy. It is important to know that we need a compass in our life to navigate, to know how to use the right tool at the right time. Without that compass, we can be blindly using Gen AI tools and foolishly thinking that we have quality work, but we'll be deceiving ourselves. So, at the end of the day, not saying that Gen AI is not good, but we really need to understand the power that it can give us and how we should use it in the right way, just like a Swiss Army knife. Thank you for listening.